What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we will be doing a deck for the Best Disturbed Graves challenge. Now once the challenge is actually out and there's a tournament, this, in my opinion, is the best deck to use. Now, I made this deck myself, and personally, I think it's just the best one. I did do a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to be showing you guys 3 replays I did. I did, in fact, lose a few before I roughed out the good parts of the deck. You can see one of the old decks here wasn't as good. The Battle Healer actually didn't really do much, but I added the Hog Rider and everything. And after ironing out a few of the details, this deck turned into an unstoppable winning machine. So we start this first game out with a Hog Rider on the tower, and he actually didn't really do much about it. Both the skeletons connected, and he had an Elixir Golem. Now this is where the Mega Knight really shines. He had 2 Witches coming down, a Royal Ghost, all these skeletons. So I first logged everything back, dropped the Mega Knight, which was able to deal with both the Witches and the Royal Ghost, and then it was just a matter of my tower dealing with the bats. The Elixir Golem popped, giving me tons of Elixir, which I was able to use for another counter push. Now this guy actually, I'm not really sure what happened, but he did end up leaving the match. He probably just disconnected, so that was my first win, and I absolutely obliterated him. But let's move on to the next match here. Now the next match started, again, just like normal. I had a Hog Rider, I started it out, and he sucked it into the center grave. Now if you don't know what these center graves do, they stay there the entire time, and they spawn 3 guards every here and there. But if you pop it, it will actually spawn a Skeleton King, but you won't get any more guards. So what I actually like to do is try to pop the grave, deal with the Skeleton King, and as long as you can deal with it, then you're at an advantage spawning guards. I think it's around every 15 seconds. Now the Bowler and the Executioner are both 2 very good cards because they have a lot of Pierce and they can go through multiple cards. And having the skeletons from the tombstones constantly spawning, the guards constantly spawning, it is just very, very helpful. Now, I've seen a lot of people running the Firecracker, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal, because if you have the poison, you can easily hit the tower, the Firecracker, and their big gravestone at the exact same time. So it actually ends up being a downfall, in my opinion. Now, here the guards were able to connect to the tower, and I have another string of guards coming out, but it pretty much just turned to mostly defense until I was able to get another big push, and it was actually, he just wasn't able to defend these guards. They went around the side of the tower and popped the tower. Now again, it's now mainly just defense game. I have quite a bit of HP still on my tower, and all I had to do was defend. Now I did end up, later in the match, popping his main gravestone, which could have been actually very bad for me at this point in the game, because all I had to do was defend. But once this big, gigantic skeleton came out, I was actually getting pretty scared. He tornadoed my Hog Rider. I didn't know what to do, but luckily he actually wasn't able to take advantage of it. He did not have a good cycle for when this thing popped, and my Executioner was able to take out most of its HP, and the guards were able to just turn it into bones. So that ended up being very, very good for me. And then the rest of the match is just history. All I had to do was defend. I did end up getting quite a big push and almost taking a second tower. Sadly, I wasn't able to. But I think if the match kept going, I still would have completely dominated with this guy with this deck. But moving on to the third match here, I did not end up actually starting out with the Hog Rider. I had the Mother Witch, and you can really see the Mother Witch shine here when they have a lot of troops like this. And I dropped my Mega Knight, and with my tower, I was able to get a positive Elixir trade with that. And my Mother Witch went absolutely crazy, just stacking up piggies. I really think the Mother Witch is a must-have. Same with the Mega Knight for this challenge. The Mother Witch and the Mega Knight are just 2 very, very overpowered cards, because all of these are just ground splash troops. Now, the Prince was controversial, and I honestly don't think the Prince is a very good card for this, because sure, if it does connect to the tower, it can be very, very good, just like a normal Prince, but with the guards constantly spawning and the tombstones with the skeletons, it just completely counters the Prince, and it's just not very good. Now, he did have a cannon for defense, but it just wasn't enough. Once you're able to break through a cannon, that's why I like the Inferno Tower so much more. But with the Bowler being able to absolutely take out his guards, and my guards coming up on the side, I was able to break through his defenses and get to his tower. Now the Prince, again, you can see the weakness of the Prince here. Just not a very good card for this challenge. I don't know why he brought it, but my Hog Rider was able to break through with the Bowler dealing with multiple swarms of these guards, and the Hog Rider was able to lock on the tower with the tower shooting at my Bowler, which is huge, and it did a lot of damage. And my Roller Ghost was able to get to the tower and take it out, which is huge. And then again, once you take out a tower, you just have to defend. This deck's defense was crazy, especially with the Mega Knight. You can see the Log, the Poison, the Mother Witch. You are able to just defend like crazy. I did end up popping his Tombstone again, which puts me at an advantage because now I'm able to just constantly spawn guards. However, all I have to do is defend the Skeleton King. Now, I didn't really know what I was going to do. The Hog Rider and the Royal Ghost were coming in on one side. The Skeleton King and a Mega Knight was coming in on the other. Luckily, the Hog Rider was not able to take out my tower. I got it out, and I was able to drop a Mega Knight on this giant Skeleton King, and he was able to be taken out with the Bowler Mega Knight splash damage. So that was absolutely huge. He did not have enough time. 10 seconds left in the match. He tried to Skeleton King Prince. All I did was log knock it back. And that was my third match win. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would suggest using it in this challenge. Have a good one. Remember to subscribe. Sly Guy, out.